made a presentation to NEC. So he covered the legal grounds as far as that presentation was concerned. But what is in the Constitution would override any legal finesse that anybody would come up with. So when the president came up and read the exact words of the Constitution, which is that political parties are to hold periodic elections not exceeding every 4 years, it was clear to everybody that whatever legal arguments anybody may make, let's just follow what the law, what the Constitution has set on ground.
Senator, I want to ask you about these congresses that are coming up, because, you know, we know that historically, whether it's PDP or APC, generally there have been complaints about imposition of candidates. What are your thoughts on the congresses coming up, and what is your expectation? Do you believe that your party is ready to conduct congresses that are truly free and fair and truly reflect the will of the people on the ground, as opposed to those who are close to the president or close to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, for example?
Well, the truth of the matter is that when people say those who are close to the president and those who are close to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, these are leaders of the party, and everybody is close to them. Anybody who is invited to the villa is happy to go there and meet with the president. Anybody that including Asiwaju himself, goes to the villa. So all of us are members of one family. The challenge of conducting a free, fair, and credible Congress would come from two things. First, those you send to go and carry out this exercise and what you tell them. And then the machinery that is set in place to monitor these things, to see that people work in tandem with what the ideals are. In this country, it's not the president or the leaders that actually mess up elections. It is the ordinary politicians back in the villages who themselves most times will not want to conform with the rules of what has been said. So it's not something that we're going to start by blaming the president, who has clearly said that he does not want impunity in the party and that the right thing should be done. It is now a process. Who are those going to manage this process? What is a mindset with which they are going to manage the process? And what is a mindset with which party members across the country are going to receive that process? So all of us have work to do.
If I could follow up that,
talk to one another to see that we do the right thing. I
You know,
think that's where we are.
when you say it will depend on who they send and what they tell them, does what they tell them bit mean the guidelines for conducting those elections, or what you tell them in terms of how they should go irrespective of the guidelines?
Well, I think that the president has already told everybody what he expects, which is that the congresses should be free, fair, credible. So that one has been said. The guidelines is the official rules for the conduct of the exercise. That would have to be made public so that every party member is aware of what their role and expectations are supposed to be in the process and what is supposed to happen. So that it's not a situation where you are thinking A is what will happen, and then midway through the rules are changed and something else happens. So I think those guidelines are critical. Thirdly, the education and sensitization of members as to their own role in the process becomes something that falls on every one of us as leaders, who have to go back home and engage our members to understand what is expected of them. So I think everybody in the party has a role to play. So if anybody starts now to begin to condemn the process or condemn those who are doing their best to serve the country and serve the party, we will not be doing ourselves any good at this point. I think we should go back and work towards a credible and acceptable Congress.
You know, I'm glad you talked about what the president has said he expects and what the guidelines are. Are the guidelines already there, or are they going to be developed?
Well, legally right now, we are not yet there, because there is an existing decision of the National Executive Committee that elongated the tenure of the present executives of the party. So we have to go back to NEC, and NEC has to now formally, set that aside and then set out a template for the organization of the congresses.
We do see that
so it is only at that point that guidelines and other things can come.
We do see that some of the papers are reporting a NEC meeting happening today. Is that likely to happen today?
I don't think that a NEC meeting will happen today, because I'm a member of NEC. I've not received any notification to that effect.
Senator,
but I believe that within the next few days there should be a meeting of NEC.
Very quickly before we go, I know in the last few days you had set up a panel of reconciliation within the River State chapter of the APC. How confident are you that no matter what happens in these congresses, no matter what happens even in the primary season, that the party within your state is going to be able to come together to agree in terms of what the way forward will be in the general election?
Well, I think that the APC in Rivers State, we owe Rivers people some kind of debt. The kind of support that our people have given to the party in the face of threats, intimidation and all that, we owe them the bit of trying to see that we do whatever we can to offer the state a credible alternative to what we currently have. And to have a situation where, you know, you're doing something and then people don't see you bringing out your best force to do it, your people are bound to begin to lose confidence in what you're doing. So what we have done is to set up a group of credible and eminent party members to reach out to other stakeholders, to talk with them and find a way forward for the party, because we need to bring the party in Rivers State together. All right,
Senator Magnus Abe is a member of the APC. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.